Hey, so after last week's little pity party that I had for myself, just being so overwhelmed, stressed out, working a lot, I'm still working a lot, but I took a step back and started thinking about what I can do really day to day to improve my well being. What can I focus on just to get me through the day, any sort of obstacles that I'm dealing with. And I was brought back to a few books that I listened to earlier in the year. The first one is Tools, and the second one is called Coming Alive. Both are written by a psychiatrist named Dr. Phil Stutz. And I was originally introduced to Stutz through actually a Netflix documentary with Jonah Hill that really dives into personal development and mental health. But there are three tools that really resonated with me when I was listening to the books, and I kind of wanted to share them today. Now, one of the reasons why I think I was getting so overwhelmed and stressed out is these tools need to be practiced very regularly on a daily basis. And if you don't practice them, then basically the tools are useless. You can't just listen to the book or read the book and think, okay, all my problems are solved. So the last few months, yeah, I've been taking in more content. I've been listening to other books, and I kind of forgot to practice these. I just haven't been focusing on these things that really have helped me. So yeah, these tools are much more of a long-term training process to train the mind and adapt. Yeah, I'm ready to dive in. So one of the first tools that really resonated with me was something called the Life Force Pyramid. It consists of three levels. The first one's body, then it goes into people, and then it goes into yourself. And he suggested that if we work on all three levels, everything in our life will really just fall into place. Now, the first one is the body. This is the base level of the pyramid. This is the foundation of the life force. So it really just represents your physical health. This includes anything from eating healthy, getting enough sleep, regular physical exercise. This has really been big for me this year. I've always gotten into kind of spurts of physical fitness, I would say. It's either like, oh, I've worked out for maybe 3 months, I've worked out for a couple of weeks, but it's never been on a consistent level where I'm working out every day. And this past 6 months, I've been working out 4 to 5 times a week. I'm really sticking to it. I'm really being diligent about getting this base level of this life force pyramid, because it really does. It makes me feel better in the day. I've mentioned previously that I work out in the mornings. It really just, there's no better way to start out your day than to get up, get your blood pumping, and just try to use that time to really focus on what you have coming up and focus on what your body is feeling. And there have been multiple times where I don't want to get up. I don't want to do this. I get up really early and I look like I want to kill someone when I walk in the gym. But afterwards, I feel a lot better. I feel like I have a good grasp on the day, everything that I have going on, and I can take it on ready to go. I also feel at the end of the day really exhausted because I am waking up so early. So it is really helping me with my sleep schedule. Typically, I'm in bed or trying to fall asleep by 10:30, and will wake up at 5 a.m. So getting a solid 7 hours of sleep. Ideally, I would love 8, but having this really deep rest is really important to me. I've typically been a very bad sleeper most of my life. I'm a very light sleeper. If I hear one little thing, I'll wake up. We have our dog sleep in our bed with us, and he moves around a lot, and I do like having him in the bed, but he does wake me up sometimes. But yeah, so getting that physical exercise in and sleep are big. In terms of like food and diet, I think I eat pretty good. I was vegetarian for like 2 years, and I think I wasn't doing it properly. I wasn't taking in the amount of calories that I should have been. So this past year, I did go back to a normal diet, but we do eat pretty healthy. We go out to eat maybe once or twice a week. Everything else is food prepped. Go grocery shopping on Sunday, plan out all our meals. But yeah, we do eat pretty good. So having this really solid foundation base level is extremely important to me and really has contributed a lot to my health overall. The second level of the life force pyramid is relationships. This one I struggle with a little bit more just because I'm such a private person, but as human beings, we are social creatures and we need that positive, meaningful relationship in our lives. Positive relationships can really provide us with a lot of support, love, and really a sense of belonging. If you feel like you're a part of a community, that really does give you a sense of purpose. And now, I've mentioned making friends before in a previous episode, but yeah, for me, I am a very private person. I talk to my best friends maybe once every few months. I have some good relationships at work, but most of my most of my tight circle is my fiance at home. She's the one who I really open up to, and that is by far the most positive relationship I've ever been in my entire life. I have no hesitations coming with her about or to talk about anything. But yeah, so I have been trying to kind of increase this level of how much I am opening up to people. For example, this podcast is huge for me. Even just talking about this right now is I'm putting this out into the world right now. No one's seeing it yet, but I am still voicing how I feel and what's going on in my life. And typically, I don't do that with my immediate circle. I think nobody wants to hear what I'm saying, so I typically put most of the conversation on other people. No one's really interested in what I have to say or what's going on in my life, so I try to just put everything on what's going on with you, and then I just feed the conversation from there. But so yeah, so lately I have been reaching out to more people, seeing how they're doing. Definitely spending a lot more time with family than I typically have been. But yeah, this secondary level of relationships and people is extremely important, and I do acknowledge that. It's just something that is a little bit more difficult for me, but once you are good in your physical body, it's a lot easier to move on to the next thing, which is this relationships level. So yeah, reaching out to as many people as I can just to see how they're doing, even sending them a DM or hey, thought of you or anything like that is something that I've really been working on, and it does take my mind away a lot from the stresses that I have during the day. It's just a little moment of really establishing a connection and finding this community where I can talk about similarities or past experiences. And then the third and final level of the life force pyramid is yourself, which includes your relationship with yourself and your aspirations. Now, this level is definitely the most tricky, but it's all about personal growth and self-awareness. But by setting goals and developing these new skills that you're focusing on and understanding your specific values, you create a sense of purpose and fulfillment in your life. And this is, in totality, the life force pyramid. So, like I said, I'm struggling with this why in my life of what is my purpose. But in order to get to that top level, I am really focusing daily on what I can do to even start thinking about this top level. I'm focusing on first thing in the morning, okay, it's drink as much water as you can and get to the gym. From there, it's okay, this made me think of someone instead of just blowing right past it. Like, let's say, for example, a funny short or a reel. I would say, okay, let me take the extra 5 minutes and send someone a message and create a little conversation with someone, which I typically wouldn't do. From there, I'm feeling pretty good going through my day, and I can really start thinking about this why level of what is my purpose? What am I setting out to do here? How does the things that I'm doing in a day represent the values that I look for in life? And for example, taking the time out of my day even just to talk like this is very self-fulfilling for me. I'm able to think holistically, think about what I'm striving towards, and find my voice along the way. So yeah, the life force pyramid is definitely a great tool. I think it's something that everyone should focus on, even if it's something super small, um, going from bottom to top. Body, what can I do? I could take your dog on a 10-minute walk around the community. Number two, like I said, something super small, like just saying hi to a friend, seeing how they're doing, and starting a conversation. And then number three will come naturally over time. And you'll have the opportunity to focus on number three, yourself. If you take enough time to focus on the bottom level of the pyramid, you should be able to do that. Now, my next favorite tool is Jeopardy, and this helps me fulfill my life force pyramid, but this one's a little bit darker. So it can be kind of broken up into three different things, but the first one is your deathbed scene. So you see yourself lying on your deathbed. And then the second part is your older self is screaming at you for wasting your time and not living in the present moment. And then finally, you use fear as a motivation, or as a motivator. You feel a deep sense of you're squandering your life away and create a urgent desire for yourself to move forward. Now, this is very extreme, but it's something that resonated with me, and it's kind of something that came up. It's very similar to a Tim Grover mindset that was in Relentless and Winning as well, but it's this deathbed scene of you wasted your life away. So what are you going to do on a daily basis to really rectify that and not have that feeling of what am I doing with my life right now? So using this fear mentality of, okay, I need to get up to accomplish my goal today. So for example, just the bottom of the pyramid, like I said, the body, getting up 4 to 5 times a week in this early morning is extremely difficult for me to do. I'm exhausted. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to. I just want to sleep. Right. I just want to lay in bed and go back to sleep. But it's this overwhelming voice telling me, get up, do it. Don't waste your life anymore. My whole life, I really have never felt extremely confident in my body, and it's just due to I've always been a small, skinny kid. So, and I don't want to feel that way. I want to feel confident. So having this sense of this Jeopardy tool telling me, you know what, you don't want to be on your deathbed saying, oh, I wish I could have been more physically fit in life. I wish I don't want to have health problems long term. So I want to do everything that I can to really live a long, healthy, and good life. So yeah, being angry at yourself and telling yourself, you know what, get up and do this is a very helpful tool. In another situation, I find myself a lot like scrolling through Instagram in a day, or not being just super productive with my time because I am just on social media so much. And it's really taking the time to stop and say, like, what are you doing right now? Like, focus on the task at hand, and at least make the commitment to yourself to spend a solid 15 to 30 minutes on a task, and then you can spend the 5 extra minutes to go on social media. But this tool really helps me stay focused, stay on track. It really helps me stay diligent long term, and I appreciate the tool for that, and I use it frequently. Yeah, so that is definitely a very big tool. It's like I said, it's a little bit more harsh. It's like this is a very dark tool of looking and visualizing yourself on your deathbed, but it's impactful. And then finally, the last tool I wanted to talk about was the Black Sun, and this one really goes into developing the strength to resist indulgences and addictions in your life to strengthen your life force. So a large part of these 2 books was about identifying your inner enemy, which they label as part X. So everyone has this inner enemy that you struggle with, and that floods you with this kind of self-defeating urge over time. So whatever it could be, whether it's losing your temper, for me, it's like I said, constantly not staying focused and checking social media. That's a huge problem for me. I really have a problem staying focused because I'm like, oh, let me just go on social media for 5 minutes. Who's it hurting? But really, long term, it's hurting me. I'm wasting a lot of time. I'm not staying as on task with certain projects like I would like to. But using this repeatedly, this tool will train you to stop giving into these urges, and instead you'll really turn inward. Another part of this is not indulging future impulses, which this is something that I do struggle with. For me, it's like I just need to get through this day, and I will get so high when I get home that all of my problems will just disappear, and I won't have to. I'll feel at least a sense of relief for an hour when I get home, right? And that this tool, the black sun, you don't want to indulge that. You don't want to slip into one of these fantasies of, okay, I will find relief once I accomplish this. So there are a few different parts to this tool. The first one is deprivation. So the feeling of deprivation of not getting what you want as instantly as you want it. You forget about the outside world as anything that will fill you up. So reject all little impulses from the outside world that will make you feel good. The second part of this is emptiness. So you look inside yourself. What was the feeling of deprivation is now just a blank void. And that leads you into number 3, where you're trying to fill this void with a black sun. So it's a visualization of taking a moment to calm yourself down, and then from the depths of inside you, you're visualizing this black sun that's filling you up, giving you warmth and energy. And then once you do feel a sense of fulfillment again, then you're going to give, and you're going to redirect your attention back into the outside world, and the energy that this black sun gave you will overflow and surge out of you. And as you enter the world, you no longer feel this impulse anymore. So the black sun is definitely something that's a little bit more new to me. I have trouble like a little bit more with looking internally deep within me and finding this overwhelming sense of energy from within myself. But that goes along with like meditation and things like that. But yeah, these tools are extremely helpful. I encourage everyone to at least give the book a quick listen. It's pretty short. But like I said, it's not just something you will read or listen to and all of a sudden you'll be cured. It's this sense of, over time, I need to continually remind myself to practice at least one of these tools in a day and keep moving forward. And with that, I do feel a lot better. There is a big sense of living in the moment and taking a second to calm down, find relief from these frustrations in a daily atmosphere, and looking inward. And then hopefully you'll feel a sense of relief as you take a second and go back out into the world. But yeah, I still am extremely overwhelmed. I just can't seem to calm my mind right now for some reason. But with the help of some of these tools and these daily reminders that, okay, I'm super overwhelmed today, so let's focus on the life force pyramid. Let's just focus on getting out of bed and doing something productive for my physical health. From there, okay, I feel pretty good. Let's see if we can establish a quick connection today. Let's call one of my parents. Let's hit up a friend. Let's go out to eat. Establishing a quick little social interaction will provide relief. And then from there, I'm already feeling a lot better. And it's basically taking the time to focus on yourself first, because that is what's most important. And from there, you can really feel a lot better. So that's what I am continuing to do and move forward with. Feel a lot better this week. So still pushing forward, still moving through this stressful time. Really glad that I am able to do this. A lot of big changes coming up pretty soon. My fiance will be away for 3 weeks coming up, so that will be a big change. I'm kind of anxious to see how that will be. That will be the longest time we've definitely been apart in years. So, and on top of that, it's work isn't slowing down at all within that time period. So, very curious to see how I will be in the next few weeks, but it will be an exciting adventure to see kind of what happens, how we feel, what's going on, and yeah. But thank you, appreciate it, and talk to you next week.